So him and I worked quite well together, and in all honesty, I can't remember who came up with the name. It could have been Ed, to be fair.
Right.
And the idea was a high caliber product was where the name came from, okay. And that was sort of behind that ethos of trying to bring people back into the sport, or bringing people into sport and giving them a really good first outcome. So it came about when my first son was born. I'd gone to Cannock Chase with my wife and my son and my dog, and my wife had given me a couple of hours. I went out and rode my bike, and I'd not done a lot of trail centre stuff before because there was no need to. I could go out for a day, and there was no sort of need for me to be at home or with the family, because I didn't have a family. Okay. So as I got a family, it changed. So I was like, so we went out, and it was enabling me to go and ride my bike for a couple of hours, meet Katie and Rowan, and at the cafe, have some lunch, and then we went out as a family for a walk. And it was, I'm sure loads of blokes do it, and women as well. It's an easy thing to do, if you see what I mean. There's car park and all that kind of stuff. And I was sat there eating my sandwich, and I just watched a group of like 3 or 4 lads come back to the cafe, and 2 of them obviously had the grin on their face, as you should do, and 2 of them just looked miserable. And then I just was like, oh, what's up with these guys? And then I looked at their bikes, and they were like the steepest head angles, the slackest seat angles, super short, brakes that obviously didn't work, judging by the amount that they were covered in dirt, obviously where they've been sliding around. And they just looked, and I was like, and those guys are never going to do this again.
Right. They like hired bikes maybe, or they just brought their own?
I think it was either with their mates from work. They were like kind of like 21, 22, so they weren't kids, if you see what I mean. They'd obviously driven there, and so they may be work colleagues or mates from school as they grow up. And they got and the other 2 guys were definitely mountain bikers. They had nice kit, they knew what they were doing. Yeah. And then there was the other 2 guys that obviously were just brought along maybe on their first ever real taste of mountain biking. But you could see on them going like, if I went over to them and just went like, are you going to come back next weekend? They'd be like, no, I'm not. I've spent more time on the ground than I have on this thing. And like, I've not enjoyed myself. And I was like, well, that's not good for the industry. That's not good, like, for the sport I love. And we've got to do something about it. Otherwise, if it keeps carrying on like that, then we're not going to have anyone riding bikes, if you see what I mean, and we're not going to have these amazing places to ride. Whether you like or loathe trail centres, the UK is so small, we need them.
We do, definitely.
So without people turning up and paying for parking and paying for a coffee and a sandwich, they're not going to carry on, and breaking the odd thing or forgetting your helmet, which I may or may have not done several times, and have to buy a new one from the bike shop that there. Where's my helmet gone? No, crap, it's still at home.
Another one.